Hello, and now welcome to the Greek of Acts 20, 32 through 38. We're finishing up Acts chapter 20 today, and Paul is reaching the end of his farewell speech to the leaders of the Ephesian church. And we join our hero at verse 32. And the things now I am committing you. So what is going on here? Well, it's a neuter plural alpha on an article. So I'm taking it as an accusative of reference. So something like, and with respect to the thing, with respect to the things now, which is a little contrived, but that's what seems to be going on here. I am committing you to God and to the word of the grace of him. So this would seem to be a present indicative. Now it has a my, so it seems to be present middle indicative. I myself am committing you, first person singular from paratithemi. I am committing you to God and to the word of his grace. Word here, I'm not sure what word can mean many different things. I'm thinking to the matter of his grace, or to the reason of his grace, or to the logic of his grace, to the will of his grace, maybe a little bit to the will of his grace, something like that. Namely, to the one who is able to edify, or to build up, give the house, and to give the inheritance. So to the one who is able. Dunamai, amai, its deponent. So it's going to have a middle or passive participle ending there. Men are passive or middle participles. But it's going to be translated actively. So something like being able. Now it has a the on it. So it's to the being able one. It's substantive. We know it's talking about God. The word of his grace, namely, it is talking about God here. To God, the one, Ken's rule, if it has the article, use who. To the one who is able. To build, sigma alpha is aorist, alpha iota is an infinitive, so this is an aorist active infinitive from oikodomeo. And to give, this is the aorist of didomi, infinitive. So we have two aorist active infinitives. To build up and to give the inheritance among the having been sanctified all, among all those who have been sanctified. So this is a participle. It's from hagiadzo, which means to sanctify. Men are passive or middle participles. And the ending, you'll see, is shoved right on the stem, meaning that 8 is a reduplicated alpha. So it's perfect passive participle. Dative, masculine, plural, goes with the article. So it's among, because of the N, that's why it's in the dative, the ones who, because it's being used substantively, and Ken's rule, if it has the article, use who or that. The ones who have, because it's perfect, been, because it's passive, sanctified, because it's hagiadzo. So among those who have been sanctified, among all those who have been sanctified. Verse 33, of silver or of gold or of clothing, of no one I coveted. So I have coveted the gold or silver or garments of no one. It seems to me that epithumeo must take its object in the genitive. That's why I'm guessing these are genitive here. Aorist, because the sigma alpha, epithumeo. So it's aorist active indicative first singular from epithumeo. I have coveted, I have desired wrongly. You can desire okay, but this is desired wrongly. I have coveted neither the silver nor the gold nor the clothing of anyone. Verse 34. You yourselves know. So when autos is in the nominative case, it intensifies the subject. The subject is you all, you plural, because of the y'all, because of the te. So it's you yourselves know. That's a tricky thing about the personal pronoun when it's used intensively. That's tricky. You yourselves know that to the needs of me and to of those with me. These hands have served. Kind of strikes me funny, this expression. So you yourselves know that these hands have served my needs and those of those with me. So Paul's practice is generally not to rely on the patronage of the church he's at, because that would create conflicts of interest. Although he did often take patronage, say, from the Philippian church when he had left. And so he's telling the Ephesians, I didn't take advantage of you all. I did not try to milk this puppy, which I think probably by the time Luke was writing in the 80s, I would say, probably there were a lot of people trying to make money off the gospel by that time. So these hands, this is nominative, so this is the subject. Served, sigma alpha, it's aorist, third person plural, aorist active, indicative, third plural from huperateo, probably. It would be my guess, something like that. I could look it up, but I won't. They served. These hands served. The ones being with me, this is the participle form of a me, it's dative to go with tois. So to the ones who are, again, Ken's rule, a lot of Ken's rule going on today. If the participle has the article, use who or that. The ones who are with me, or in this case, the ones who were with me, since it's said in the past. Verse 35, all things I demonstrated to you. I showed all things to you. Hupodegma. No, it's hupodegmumi, I would say. It's a word of demonstration. C is the key to a hidden sigma, so we have a hidden sigma alpha, so it's aorist of hupodegmati. What did I say? Hupodegno? Is that what I said? Hupodegnomy, I think is what I said. Okay. So I showed all things to you, that thus laboring, present participle, my aunt is an active participle, it is necessary to pay attention to those who are weak or those who are sick. Present participle here as well. This is present infinitive, probably deponent, because it has a st. It's a middle or passive form. Okay, and to remember the words of the Lord Jesus. Present infinitive there. The word for remember can take its object in the genitive. What is it that Jesus says? That he himself said, aping an aorist, quote, blessed is it more to be giving than to be receiving. So we have two infinitives here, present active infinitives, present indicative of a me. Okay, and I talk about where that quote might come from in the podcast. Verse 36, and having said these things, aping an aorist participle, having put the knees of him, so he's having kneeled for prayer. This is the aorist participle of tithemi, nominative masculine singular. With all them, he prayed. C is the key to hidden sigma alpha, so this is aorist. It's a middle ending, but proseuchomai, it's deponent. So it's a aorist deponent indicative third singular from proseuchomai. He prayed, verse 37, and a lot of crying came to be of all. So everybody starts crying. This is the aorist of ginomai. And having fallen upon the neck of Paul, intentionally, epipipto. So this is the aorist participle of epipipto. My aunt is an active participle. The sigma doesn't indicate anything here. It's part of the word. Having fallen upon the neck of Paul, they were kissing him in a good way. So this is imperfect of kataphileo, third person plural. Verse 38, grieving or being grieved, ondunao, perhaps something like that, perhaps contract verb, grieving especially at the word that he had spoken, that no longer they are about the face of him to behold. So this is, I believe, a present, probably deponent participle, although I'd have to look up the verb to see whether it has no my on it. You'll notice that this is the relative pronoun here, a noun ending without a word, at the word that he spoke. Now, you speak a word, and word is the direct object. So technically, this should be hone. It should be accusative. But there's an obscure rule in Greek that says that when the relative pronoun is close to its antecedent, which is logo, and if the antecedent is in the genitive or dative, then sometimes the relative pronoun will, because of peer pressure, take on the case and of its antecedent, which is what happens here. This is not grammatically what word should be there, but that's what they did, and that it was. He has spoken. This is the perfect of lego. It's irregular, of course, ereka, perfect active indicative. This might be pluperfect because of the epsilon iota, the word that he had spoken, that no longer they are about, present tense, to see his face, present infinitive. And so, and they sent forward, or they accompanied. This is the imperfect because it's propempo. No indications of an aorist here, so it's just an imperfect active indicative, third singular. And then I believe it says to the ship, but I can't see on my screen. Let me do that. Yes, they sent him forward into the boat. They accompanied him into the boat. And so there you have it. We've finished Acts chapter 20. Paul's now going to leave Miletus and continue on his way to Jerusalem, where he will be arrested. We will find soon enough. So we'll see you on Monday, Lord willing. Tomorrow's podcast, I think I'm going to talk about the hypothesis of a fourth missionary journey and the pastoral epistles.